All righty. Well, hello, everybody out there. Thank you for joining us. I truly appreciate it. It's a fantastic opportunity to get to talk to anybody out there and also work with SCORE, one of our favorite partner organizations. I'll talk about how we kind of fit into the ecosystem to help veteran business owners, veteran business owners, military families. But if you look down at the bottom of this first slide, it's got the U.S. Small Business Administration, it's got the VBOC, but it also has the SBDC, SCORE, Women's Business Centers, IVMF, Mississippi State with their Revenue Readiness course. We don't work alone. Any state that's doing this right has a group of partners that work under the Small Business Administration that talk to each other and that share events and that come to each other's things. And SCORE is one of the organizations that absolutely does the best job of integrating in with their partner resources to include the Veterans Business Outreach Center, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today, what we do, where we do it, and who we do it for. And that's kind of right into the agenda. Who are we? Where are we at? What are these different services that we offer? I'm going to tell you and put out a lot of information, but I'm also going to take time at the end to answer any questions that you guys have about how you take advantage of these services, what the next steps are, and what we can do for you. The VBOC is a unique program. We are a cooperative agreement with the Small Business Administration. The Small Business Administration has 31 VBOCs throughout the country, and each one of those VBOCs, Veteran Business Outreach Centers, is your private doorstep, kind of your VIP entrance into SBA resources. And what we do is educational services. We do entrepreneurship workshops on military installations. We do workshops off of installations. And we do this through nonprofits. So out of those 31 VBOCs, ours covers all of Tennessee and Kentucky. And we do things throughout both states. And I'll show you where our locations are and how easy it is to get a hold of us. But this cooperative agreement is done through a grant through nonprofits. The nonprofit that has our grant for Tennessee and Kentucky is a community development financial institution called Pathway Lending. Pathway Lending sounds like a bank, not a bank. Pathway Lending provides educational sources, educational services, and unique lending solutions to grow communities for affordable housing and for various different things. So all these nonprofits, a lot of the VBOCs are under institutions. Ours just happens to be under a CDFI. But that actually gives us a great, strong partnership in Nashville and surrounding areas to get you not only education, but also access to capital. Who can take advantage of this? Just about anybody attached to the military community, Reserve, active duty National Guard, military spouses, transitioning service members. And if you ever have any question as to who can take advantage, just get a hold of me. We've talked to military dependents, and we've kind of gone around that scope. If you have ties to the military community, chances are you can use the VBOC. What kind of services do we offer? We're going to talk about each one of these, but a lot of these, any stage of business, from Rob, I have an idea, how do I turn that into a concept, to how do I take a concept and turn it into a business plan? How do I get mentorship through the SCORE network, through other veteran business owners? Where do we go to get more information? What are these different types of things that I need help with a small business? You can get all of that through your Veteran Business Outreach Center. One of the strongest services that we provide, that we don't mention it by name because it's kind of it's a summary of all of these, is I don't even call myself a business advisor anymore. I call myself a resource navigator. If there's a program or something out there that can help a veteran or military family member in business, chances are we know about it. And if we don't know about it, it's probably less than 48 hours old and we just haven't seen it yet, but we'll know about it tomorrow. And then we tell people, and we have a network of getting information out there. Where are we at? What do we cover? I told you all of Tennessee and Kentucky, but within Tennessee, we cover all the way out west to NSA Mid-South. Fort Campbell area, Nashville area. This is where we conduct the boots to business. But we can do via Zoom, via Teams, and we also have off installation events that are scheduled throughout the year. We're starting to work with more universities like Pellissippi State out east, Middle Tennessee University in Murfreesboro has us on the calendar once a quarter now to come out and teach these entrepreneurship courses. And we're starting to work with the VA in Lexington, Kentucky. So we're going to be in more places, but right now we're trying to be all over Tennessee and get to you where you need us. But we do have a permanent office at Fort Campbell and a permanent office in Nashville that we can meet people in person. We talked about some of these things. One of the big programs that we have is this program called Boots to Business. This is a 2-day introduction to entrepreneurship class that covers everything from what is an entrepreneur to what are the different types of legal entities to what do lenders look for and how do I get at capital and what are these other things that are out there for me. It's a 2-day in-person course. We do it on installations and we have a version of it that I'm going to show you that we can do off installations as well. But I wanted to go over some of the modules that we teach. Introduction to business ownership. What are the different ways to get into business ownership? How do I understand market? We really kind of simplify what marketing it is and how much you can do yourself and how much you don't have to pay somebody else to do it. We've been lately trying to introduce kind of how to utilize AI into our simple steps, not in the complex, not paying somebody a bunch of money, but using these simple AI techniques to save yourself a ton of money at the beginning and a ton of time. We talk about the economic models and business models and explaining what these terms mean in real simplistic fashion. Then we go into specifics on legal considerations. The last class I actually had a lawyer come in, not the one I told you about, Michelle. This was an excellent fifth group guy. I learned from my previous mistakes, and he wasn't given specific legal advice, but he was there to just answer general questions, and it kind of kept that legal module on track. It was just wonderful. And we talked about LLCs and S corporations and C corporations, and we talked about how to form a business. And I even took everybody on a virtual field trip to the Tennessee Secretary of State's office website, and we set up an LLC together. And that's something unique that our VBOC does. So we don't just kind of tell you generally how to do it. We take you there and we show it to you. We handed out folders to everybody. Every class we teach, we hand them a folder now with these Tennessee smart guides in them on how to set this entity up from beginning to end. Right on that folder is our contact information. So at any time while they're setting up that entity, they need assistance, we're available real time to help them. And so that's a unique thing that our VBOC does that I don't know a lot of people do. We really talk about business model canvas and business planning. And a lot of people don't know that if you're a startup business and you're trying to access capital, you're going to need a business plan. And there's help out there. All of these things that we can do, we even have a follow-up course to this, which is a 6-week online course to help you build that business plan further out and complete it. And when we talk about financing, we talk about it from a lender's perspective of this is what they're looking for to get you qualified. And we have a unique perspective on that because of our relationship with Pathway Lending. And we even have actual lenders that are on the grant, not to try to sell you a loan product, but that can talk to you about what it takes to get loan ready and what creditors look for. And that's just a unique thing. And then we also talk about other resources. And in that module 8, those other resources, one of the key things that we present is the SCORE network. Because like I say, we look at SCORE and our other partners under the SBA as an integrated ecosystem to help you. So as we're working with you as a counselor and you have a specialized need, we'll find you somebody through SCORE that's in that industry that has already done that at the highest level. And then you continue working with us and your mentor. So this isn't a one thing or another type of setup. If it's being done correctly, it's a buffet. You come in, you get your plate, and I'm the one that hands you your plate. And then I tell you, hey, these are the things that are going to help you. And you go and put those things, and when you walk away with that plate, it's a very specialized tailored thing to you as far as what you need to help you in your particular situation. So we don't do one size fits all business counseling. We do a first 30-minute introduction meeting to find out what your specific needs are. And then we use all the pieces in this ecosystem, SBDCs, WBCs, SCORE, and we get you what you need at the end of the day. And I love the way that that works. And it only works in an environment where everybody works together. When you get done with Boots to Business or a Boots to Business reboot, which I'll show you, I'll go out of order on these slides just a little bit just to keep the flow right. There's this 6-week revenue readiness course. It's done through Mississippi State University. It's all online. It's 2 hours a week, 1 hour each night for 2 days a week for 6 weeks, total of 12 hours of instruction with a lot of homework given. And if you do it correctly, you end up with a business plan. They use one of the best software platforms out there called LivePlan, and it's at no cost to you up front or no cost to you while you're doing it. And at the end, you can transfer your account to ours, and we pay for that. And so this is a great way to build a business plan. I want to go up and talk about two different things. This is military spouse pathway to business. We have two different options. We have what we call a Boots to Business reboot, which is basically just our Boots to Business 2-day entrepreneurship course done off of installations. And I told you we were doing those at universities. We have one scheduled in September at Middle Tennessee, MTSU. We have one in the fall scheduled out east at Pellissippi State. And we are doing a huge military spouse pathway to business. Michelle will be telling you more about this on, I believe it's 25 August. It's going to be, the information is going to be coming out, but it's for military spouses to start a business or an early stage business. We're going to have successful spouse entrepreneurs speak. We're going to teach the course over 1 day at a beautiful venue called Office Now in Clarksville, Tennessee. It's going to be off the installation. There's going to be lunch provided, and it's going to be a 1-day version of our 2-day course, but it's going to be oriented towards military spouses and what things are out there to help them be successful. And then we're going to have some connections at the end and some tables set up. I think in all hopes, we're going to have her bank from Legends Bank in Clarksville, that program to help female entrepreneurs, even though we'll have some male spouses too as well. But we'll have these different things available inside the spouse program, and that's one of the outreach events that we can do kind of off of an installation to help people. I don't have a specific thing for the reboot because really reboot is just Boots to Business off of military installations. And those are those university courses. So we do not do online reboots. There are some available out there I can connect you to. We do a lot of in-person stuff. We're doing an in-person class almost every single week. If we have any white space, I try to fill it with another in-person event. I just don't like the teaching over 2 days virtual. I don't think you get that interaction. What you'll find out when you come to one of our courses is that we are very much a discussion more than a lecture. We put out information, but we take questions while we're talking, and we go down rabbit holes of individual needs, and we talk about what the things are that you're interested in more so than what information we want to put out. And that's just really difficult to do virtually. Virtual presentations like this to tell you who we are and what we do, those are phenomenal. But when you're trying to have those two-way interactive events, virtual or even hybrid events just don't work very well. And so if you're wondering why we don't do our online training, we try to keep that to 5 to 7 minute classes online. How to set up an LLC, things like that. We do those online trainings, but a day-long training online is just, in my mind, doesn't work very well. If you're looking at the screen now, you're seeing something very unique. This building at Fort Campbell with the little VBOC sign on it, it doesn't look like much, but we are the only veteran business outreach center that has an office on a military installation, period. It doesn't exist anyplace else. There's one, it's at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and it serves the greater area. And more importantly now, we have a 10-year memorandum of agreement signed with Fort Campbell. So we're not just there a flash in the pan. We're a permanent part of the TAP program, Transition Assistance Program at Fort Campbell, and we're a very proud TAP member. And I brag about that every time I talk to the rest of the VBOCs that we have an office. This office can serve you. We have walk-in hours 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday on any day that we're not teaching. We have our calendar right on the door. You can get a hold of me ahead of time to find out, is there going to be somebody in the office? There is now almost all the time. And when there's not somebody in the office here, it means we're teaching right next door in the classroom. We're available during lunch and during breaks, even when we're teaching. So we try to make ourselves available a lot. If you're in the greater Nashville area, we have an office right there at Pathway Lending. It's in a beautiful part of Metro Center in Nashville, and it's a 201 Venture Circle. We do that by appointment. For example, my team member, Jacques, he's in Nashville right now at that office. And if we know we have somebody coming in, so as long as we're not teaching, one of the two of us can break off to that Nashville office. We have a very nice place in there. We get you a little coffee, get you a pastry, sit down. We have a nice TV that you can't see in the picture. It's a monitor, 50-inch monitor that we can see all the slides and talk about, put your stuff up. We can review financial documents, just a ton of stuff that we can do in person, but you got to schedule that in advance. Much easier, of course, and much quicker turnaround if we're doing a Zoom or a Teams. It's just not as personal. If you have documentation that you want us to review, oftentimes it's nice to be able to meet in person and do that. What other resources are out there? I'll key into some of these a little bit more than others because some of these have more ramifications for you guys. But Apex accelerators. I didn't talk about government contracting. If you're a business out there that's doing anything that produces and manufactures things in the U.S., you need to call me immediately after this meeting and get a hold of me because there's a huge push by the Small Business Administration to find these businesses that are manufacturing things in the U.S. Even if it's not manufacturing, if you have a business or you have a product or a service that the government's looking for, we can get you certified as a service disabled veteran-owned business or just a veteran-owned business through the SBA. And one of the organizations that does that is the Apex Accelerator Program. Now, they're actually funded by the DoD. That's kind of behind the scenes, transparent to you guys. They're not an SBA program, but they work with us. And they can help you get that SAM.gov account, that SBA certification to be part of that set aside 23% of federal dollars spent. So again, if you're interested in government contracting, we help with a lot of the legwork up front. We attach you to an Apex Accelerator to help you with, and if anybody ever heard the old term PTAC, it's the same thing. PTAC is just now called Apex Accelerator. And when you contact us, we'll put you in touch with the actual person that does your area. So instead of sending you to the Apex website, if you're in Middle Tennessee, I'll send you to Debbie Barber. If you're in West Tennessee, I'll send you to your contact. East Tennessee, I'll send you to that contact. So I can help you with that. Surety bond program, that's more specialized, but if you have a business that needs to be bonded and you understand what that is and you're having trouble finding it, we can get you to the SBA district office and get you connected to a surety bond. Some of these other more specialized into Intel and tech and cyber, SBA Office of Advocacy to get you data and to pull information that you might need for your business plan. The Rosie Network and other private organizations that aren't necessarily special SBA programs, but these other social organizations that do great things. IVMF kind of sucked up Bunker Labs in a sort of partnership. And all of these organizations that can help veterans, we talk to them. We found a wonderful organization called DAV that we hadn't been working with. And when we looked into them and talked to them and went to one of their programs, we found out what wonderful things they're doing. University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, UTC, they have an entire entrepreneurship training program. And we're going there next week to work with their veterans that are in that program for boot camp. We have an agreement with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville to learn about franchising and get a certificate in franchising. When I first started talking to them, that program cost $1,500. I was able to lower it down to 750 for veterans. And I don't know if I can recreate it, but the last time I was able to get veterans in for free. And that was an opportunity for them to learn about franchising from someone that wasn't selling them a franchise. And if you don't know how unique and rare that is, ask Michelle, she'll tell you. Um, Anybody that's telling you about franchising is trying to sell you a franchise. But this is an entire educational source, 8 weeks, that tells you every aspect of franchising, what to look for, how to get into it, and from a group of individuals that knows it backwards and forwards and uniquely isn't trying to sell you a franchise or just trying to educate you. And we can get you into that either at low to no cost. I don't know if I can recreate that free thing, but we can at least get a severe discount. Um, so that's a unique opportunity. So there's all kinds of organizations that are listed on here. I'm doing online courses. We're working on building out our online called Vet LLC Learn is another one. Just if you need a specific class, we're working on discounts for QuickBooks classes. I just sent my other team member, Jacques, to a QuickBooks master class. We think that's going to authorize him. We're still working it out. We think that's going to authorize him to sign up people at a 30% discount on QuickBooks. So once I get Jacques certified, if you're a VBOC client, you get a 30% discount on your QuickBooks every month. That's a pretty significant savings. And then maybe even a discount on the training. So we're always looking at adding other resources to this list. And I have kind of my own private on I use OneNote all the time. I have a resource list on OneNote that just gets bigger by the day. We just had a meeting with the Tennessee Surplus Program. And so if you're a small business in Tennessee and we can get you certified as a veteran-owned business, you qualify for the Veteran Tennessee Surplus Property Program. That's another one that we just recently added back to our list because Tennessee hadn't been participating in that program in a long time. But now we have a contact for you and we can help. Um, Before you start asking any questions, I just want to tell you, I had it on a place on here and I don't see where I put it, but I wanted to highlight something to you. Every single service that we provide, I used to say at no cost to you because I wanted to make sure I don't use the free word. The stuff isn't free. There's people getting paid, there's materials involved, there's software licensing. Don't believe that anything's free. Some of the stuff's rather expensive. They're using live plan, they're using business professors. A lot of these things that are included are expensive things. They're the best ones out there. And then I started saying at no cost to you, and I thought that's rather insensitive. Some of you spent 20, 25 years. Some of you been to combat. Some of us have done hard things. And so now I start to call these services prepaid. You prepaid them with your service. You prepaid them with your tax dollars. Now you're at a place where you can just take advantage of them. And so instead of calling these things benefits or incentives or anything, these are things you earned. These are prepaid services. If you don't use them, they just stay out there unused. And if you want to take advantage of them, you've already paid in full. And so to me, that's the best way to look at these things. That's who we are. That's some of the things we do. That's where we're at, and that's what they cost. With that, I will go ahead and kind of turn over some time for questions. Anybody, if you, I see Christopher out there.
Hey, can you hear me, Mr. Rob?
Yeah, I can. Christopher, how you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. So I took a picture of it because I have a bad memory. I apologize.
Go ahead and stop
So
my,
about
make sure I'm getting my content. Go ahead.
about the vet LLC learning. Can you just go over that just briefly one more time?
Well, that was one example of a place where we put classes. So
Okay.
we're building out a platform right now called Pathway Learn, where I have a couple classes on there about how to set up an LLC. We also have the SBA's website where there's online on-demand classes. And the way I usually do that is I have a 30-minute conversation with you. And instead of just sending you to a website, I'll send you a link to the specific class that I think might help you. So that'll be in a few different online learning places. And then because we've been talking about SCORE, some of the classes that we list on our newsletter and that we send people, SCORE does one of the best jobs of doing educational webinars. I know there's one tomorrow about, it's something we're going to look at. Michelle, do you know what the webinar is tomorrow?
It's I actually do believe I have the email pulled up right here. It is confirmation. The one on the 16th.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's
What
at
is it?
6:30.
What
Tomorrow,
is that
Start
one?
a
so you want to
business.
buy a business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's business, the simplistic version of business valuation and what to look for. That's what I'm signing up for.
Yes, sir.
So those type of
I also
things,
signed up for that class too.
those type of things are things that we put clients to. So these online webinars, these online classes, SBA, the Vet LLC has some classes. So those are individual things that we send people to.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I'm struggling to find the right direction to start my business. And I want to have it started and at least my digital sales in place by January. And I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, well, start with that email address on your screen right now that says rob.corrigan@pathwaylending.org. Shoot me an email. We'll get you registered. We'll set you up with a 30-minute counseling session, and we'll walk out of that counseling session with a list of this is what we need to do now.
Yes, sir. I'll do
And
that right
I
now.
call it a client. Everybody's going to leave with a client roadmap.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. That's all.
All right, we still got plenty of time out there. Who has anything that's on their mind, anything business related? What can we answer for you?
Marty is asking, he's desperate for help making my website. Any idea?
Yes, I do. I'll go ahead and give you a short version on this, but then I'll give you a longer answer offline if you want. I have researched this. I've looked at companies that do this for a small amount of money, and much like, and this is a longer answer because it gets into something else that I didn't talk about. AI is making a lot of small businesses obsolete, and it's helping a lot of other small businesses get more competitive. And it's doing both things at the same time. But one of the things it can do while it's making some of these small businesses obsolete, it's letting you do things cheaper and more efficiently by yourself and not having to hire people. And one of those things is websites. I built my own website on Weebly. Don't write that down because I'm not going to recommend it. I built my own website on Weebly about 10 years ago with absolutely no technical background whatsoever. And it was difficult, but I was able to do it. I started researching things for my clients and I found Wix. Wix has added an AI component, and you just type in what you want it to do and it does it. And now we've recently started looking at another website platform called Replit. And I'll tell you more about that offline if you want to go over that. But between those two website builders and hosts, you can go to Wix right now and just explore without paying any money. And an AI component can show you what your website will look like in a very short period of time. It is amazing how easy this is and how professional it looks. And the other platform that I would look at is Replit. And if you want to have a conversation with me or with Jacques, is my teammate. Jacques also looking at these platforms. We're not web builders, but we'll help. We can assist. Both Jacques and I have built websites, and we're more than happy to assist. But I think that you'll find out nowadays if you go to Wix or if you go to Replit with their AI capability, this is something you can do by yourself, and it's something you can do without a technical background and without a bunch of money. We're at a time frame right now where unless you're a business that's already in business, generating a lot of revenue, and you've already tried yourself and your website won't do what you want it to do, you're not at a place where we have to pay somebody else to do this. We're at a DIY phase at the beginning.
Okay, we have a couple guys that were asking, why do I need to be certified a veteran? And wouldn't I be certified if I have a DD 214?
Great question. Hey, in order to call yourself a veteran-owned business, you can go ahead and make a sign and put that in your window right now. Don't do it in crayon or they're going to think you're a Marine. Or if you are a Marine, go ahead. That's perfect. Do it in crayon. Throw it right up there. They'll know who you are. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But if you're a veteran-owned business, you can call yourself a veteran-owned business. You do not have to have a certification to do that. Where we have to be certified is if we want to do government contracting and we want to have that business with the government, they're going to look to verify that I'm a service disabled veteran owned business or I'm a veteran owned business. And then some federal programs like the surplus program, even if it's administered by the states, also want to see that certification. But you're right. It's a great question. In a lot of circumstances, you don't have to be certified, but if you want to do business with your government, they're going to want that certification. If you're unsure at the end of this, whether or not your specific situation would need to be certified, have that conversation with me. I have a little criteria that we go by. We can find out.
And Daniel's asking, could you talk more about the surplus program?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're an existing business, you can prove that you're an existing business in the state of Tennessee. Unfortunately, right now, we still have to have that federal certification. I was trying to get a workaround for that, some other verification of, like a DD 214. But right now, they want to see that federal certification. But if we get that, and that's something that you can do at no cost, it's just kind of a paperwork drill. Once we get that certification, then we can go back to the state. And if we find we have a need for property, equipment, if that equipment is available, and I have those links of where we can see what's available, I like to do that with you online in a Zoom call. We identify those pieces of equipment that we need, and then we pay a fee. It's only like a 3% to 5% fee, and that just covers the processing and everything of that because this isn't funded by taxpayer dollars. Then you can get unused federal surplus property that's been pushed down to the states. You can get that for your veteran-owned business.
Okay. Nothing else in the chat. Jacques is on.
The way you contact, the way you get access to that surplus program, I'm not the only way, but I think we're the best way is you contact me and you say, Rob, I got questions about the surplus program. And then you and I will get a hold of the state of Tennessee surplus manager, and we'll start that process. At the same time, we can start talking to Debbie about getting your certification if you don't already have it through mysba.gov. Jacques Collins, you're late to the party because I had you doing something else. Do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to say anything to everybody or talk about what your kind of specialization within the VBOC program is as far as business planning?
Hi, everybody. I am Jock Collins, and yes, so I look at business. I help with business planning. I do some business advising, and I'm also an instructor for the Boost to Business program, which I'm sure you guys have heard about. Apologize for being late, but we had a client that needed some help, and so I stepped away to do that.
All right, guys. So if you ever need to contact us, it's not just one person. It's not just me and Jacques. We have other people on the team that we can put you in contact with. And then, like I've been telling you the whole time, we have this entire ecosystem of people. And the one organization I didn't mention is the Tennessee SBA District Office. Also, because we're part of the SBA program, we can get disaster relief. We can get surety bonding, other things that the district office does. We can access that as well. So there's a myriad of different ways that we can help you out there. Michelle, anything else in the chat?
Nothing else.
Guys, my contact information is on there. You can call me on my phone. Email is the absolute fastest, best way to get a hold of me. rob.corrigan@pathwaylending.org. That same heading at pathwaylending.org, if you send it to VBOC at pathwaylending, VBOC at pathwaylending.org, it goes to both Jacques and myself at the same time. So if you're having trouble getting a hold of anybody, that's a fast way to do it. That's who we are. That's where we are. That's what we do.
Great. Rob, thank you. You always do such a great job. I would like to invite everyone on this call, if you're in the Nashville area, SCORE has a myriad of workshops that can complement what VBOC has. You can go to score.org/Nashville and click on Take a Workshop. All the workshops are free, and we actually have Chat GPT for beginners, Tuesday the 22nd.
Awesome.
We have, this one's very important for any entrepreneur. This is Saturday the 19th, Protecting Your Business, the Essentials of Intellectual Property. When should you copyright? When should you trademark? When should you patent? And what's involved? So that's very good for all of you. Tonight, we have SCORE Connect Live, which is a networking event at Belmont University. There will be SCORE mentors there. We have subject matter experts in a number of fields. You can network, and as well as we will have resources there you can sit down and talk to. So you are welcome to that. Go score.org/Nashville, and you can sign up there. But if there's nothing else, Rob, any other closing comments?
No, when did you say that Belmont SCORE Connect is?
Tonight, 5:30 to 8.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to do that, but I'll try to hit the next one.
Great. November 18th.
All right. Thanks for everybody for coming to this. Please spread the word. Please contact us if we can help you in any way. And I truly appreciate your time.
Thanks all. Take care.